All right. So coming to you from my desk is another outstanding lesson about equations of lines. And today we're going to look at the standard form of a line. So the standard form of a line is in this form. AX plus BY is equal to C. And the one rule for standard form of a line is that A must be a positive whole number. Okay, so if we're looking at a standard form, let's see what our question is here. Write the equation of the lines passing through the given points in standard form. 4, -3, and 3, -6. So let's go ahead and see what this picture looks like. So 4 and -3 is there, and 3 and -6 is that one there. Okay, so we're going to want to go ahead and find a slope. So, well, let's draw the line first. Our slope looks like it's going to be 2 up and 1 over. So my slope is equal to 2 over 1. Okay, so I can do a couple of more of these so I get a nice line here that's accurate. So all of these, 2 up, 1 over, 2 up, 1 over. Here if I want to go the other direction, 2 down, 1 over. But I got a slope of positive 2 there, so all these points are going to line up. So let's try and line those up. Draw our line there. Oh, it doesn't want to draw there. There we go. Okay, so there's our line. Okay, so get this in standard form. We need a slope and just like any other line and a point. So we can put it into our point slope form. So I've got a slope here and I'm going to choose this point to work with and I'm going to put it into my point slope form. So y minus 3, it's my y1, is equal to my slope times x minus x1, which is 4. Okay, so I'm going to simplify this out and I'm going to try and morph my point slope form into my standard form. Okay, so I'm just going to expand out my parentheses and then arrange my terms so that they're in standard form. So here I go. So this is y plus 3 is equal to, I'm going to distribute the 2 through, it's going to be 2x minus 8. Okay, so now I want all of the variables on the left-hand side, so I'm going to subtract 2 from both sides. 2x minus 2x plus y is equal to, and because I want my constants, right, all on my right-hand side, I'm going to subtract 3 from both sides. So that's going to give me minus 8 minus 3 gives me minus 11. Okay, so we're pretty close here, but we've got to go look at our rule, and it says for standard form, and that's that a must be a positive whole number. So because this is an equality here, I want to make this negative so that it's a positive, so I'm going to multiply both sides by -1. And because it's an equation, I can do that. Okay, I've balanced my equation out. I can do whatever I want to either side of these as long as I do the same thing to both sides. So here I'm going to get 2x minus 1y is equal to plus 11. Okay, and there's our standard form. That's a pretty easy example. Let's try something a little bit more fun here, I guess. And we'll pick this one apart a little bit more so we get some more good stuff out of it. Let's see if I can drag this down here a little bit. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so here we've got the same question. We want to try to find the standard form, except here they're giving us 2 points. So just like before, we can go ahead and graph this out here. So minus 5 and minus 5 is there, and 5 and 7 is there. So this one isn't quite as obvious where things are, so we're going to have to be a little bit more careful when we go to do our equation. But anyway, here is our line. Okay, so on those 2 points. So same as before. In order to write my equation, I need to find the slope first. So here we're going to go slope is the rise. So how much is our rise here? It looks from 7 to minus 5. Well, that rise is 12. Over the run. Okay, and that run looks like it's going to be from minus 5 to 5, so that's going to be 10. So my slope is equal to 12 over 10. It's the same as when I reduce it, 6 over 5. Okay, and now using point slope form again, I'm going to go ahead and dump in one of my points with that slope and get the equation, and then we're going to change it into standard form. So y minus 5. So I'm going to use this point here. So my y1 is negative 5 and my x1 is also minus 5. It doesn't matter which point you use. If you use the 5 and 7, you're going to get the exact same answer in the end, but I've just chosen that point. So y minus 5 is equal to, now my slope, ooh, scary, a fraction. Okay, 6 over 5 times x minus 5. Okay, so now let's, just like we did up top, let's go and distribute all the signs out. So y plus 5 is equal to, and here we'll distribute the 6 over 5 to both. 6 over 5 x, and 2 minuses make a plus 5, so I'm going to get times, so this one goes to here, this one goes to here. So 6 over 5 times 5, well, here, this is going to be a plus 6 over 5 times 5. So 5 divided by 5 is 1, so I'm just left with 6 there. Okay? So, just like before, let's go ahead and put all my variables on this side. So I'm looking for this, right? I'm looking for ax plus by is equal to c. So let's try and get our x over to this side. So I got to subtract 6/5 x from both sides. Plus y is equal to, and here I had plus 6, and I want to get this constant 5 on the other side there, so I'm going to subtract 5 from both sides. So 6 minus 5 gives me 1. Okay, so let's multiply out. Now, let's take a look at what's going on here. I want this x, if you remember what our rule was, we want a to be a positive whole number. So I'm going to multiply both sides by, what's going to do it for me here? I think minus 5 will. Okay, because if I multiply negative 6/5 by minus 5, that's going to, negative 5 times negative 5 is 1. That's going to get rid of my denominator, so that's a good one. So let's give that a try. So here I'm going to get negative and negative is plus. 6/5 times 5 is going to give me just 6x. Minus, now I have to remember to do this, distribute, right? I'm doing it to the whole side of this equation. Okay, so because I got to keep it equal the whole side. So the negative 5 has to hit both terms inside the parentheses there. So here I'm going to get 6x minus 5y is equal to minus 5. Okay, and so that's our standard form. That's a good one. Okay, let's take a look at a couple of the things that we can see though from this equation. What's it good for? Well, let's take a look. My x-intercept, okay, means that I'm trying to find the place where the graph crosses the x-axis. And we can't really tell here. We don't know if that's a fraction in there or if this is going to be a whole number. It kind of looks like it's -1. Okay, well, let's go ahead and take a look. So I know that the height there is 0 at my x-intercept. So let's go and dump 0 for y in here and see what happens. 6x minus 0, 5 times 0 is 0, is equal to -5. Look at how nice this works out. X is equal to, so I'm going to isolate for x, which means I'm going to divide both sides by 6 here, right? So that gives me x is equal to -5/6. So it looked like it was -1. They're tricking you, and actually it's -5/6. Okay, and 0. It's a little messy there. See if I can fix that up a bit for you. There we go. This is lots of fun, right? Okay. Let's see if we can make that a little nicer. -5/6. Okay. The y-intercept. So if I'm really smart about this now, my x-intercept is really where the y is 0. So if I go and look at this equation right here again, if I cover up this term, because I know y is 0, I'm really just trying to solve for x from what's left. 6x is equal to -5. Okay? If I go and look for my y-intercept, which means that x is 0, okay, so x is 0 and I'm trying to find the height. Okay, I'll just write the equation out here again. We had 6x minus 5y is equal to -5. Okay, if I cancel this one out, x is 0, what am I left with? -5y is equal to -5, so y must equal 1. So it looks like if I cancel out the x here, it's going to show me my y-intercept kind of nice. And if I cancel out my y here, that's going to show me my x-intercept kind of nice, right? Okay. And the slope, well, the slope, if I had written this equation out like this, and I wanted to find the slope, I know that in slope-intercept form, I would see the slope. So let's do that. So slope-intercept form means that I'm going to isolate for the y. Y is equal to mx plus b. So let's go ahead and do that. So I'm going to get -5y is equal to, subtract 6 from both sides, gives 6x from both sides, gives me -6x minus 5. Okay, and now isolate for the y is going to divide everything by 5, right? So this is going to show me my slope. Sorry, divide by -5, I should say. So if I divide by -5, everything, because it's an equation, right? I can do that. Y is equal to, let's put this down here. Y is equal to 6/5. X plus 1. So I can see my slope in there. But if I go back to my, okay, so you can see your slope is 6/5. All right, so let's see what our standard form does for us here. Our standard form was 6x minus 5y is equal to -5. And from our formula from the top, 6 is A, -5 is B, and -5 is C. So to find our x-intercept here, from this equation, it's really easy, because once my y is 0, okay, so that means that this term is going to become 0, then I'm left with my x-intercept is really just going to equal this number divided by this number, c/a. Okay. If I go to look for my y-intercept, that means that the x is 0. Okay. So my y-intercept from the standard form is going to be c divided by this -5 here. So I'm going to get c/b. And my slope, okay, our slope turned out to be 6/5 here. So my slope is going to be a combination of a and b here, where the slope is equal to -a/b, right? So that's the kind of the use of the standard form there. And that should set you up for your homework. So try a couple of questions and you'll be good. Adios.